Okay, so Billy says he'll pay for Rincon himself, but when he sells him for more money next year, he's keeping the profit. Okay, thank you very much. We'll call you back. Thank you. Come on! Come on! Hey kids. How's it going? I'm very honored to be here in front of all you guys, so thanks for having me. Hi!
And he just confessed to me that he gets nervous in front of 200 people, and I said, after all this time, and he said, yeah, but I get nervous talking about myself. Oh. So we won't talk about you.
Okay. Let's talk about you,
So how did you get the part?
How did I get the part in this film?
Yeah, because I have to tell you, when I was in a position to give green lights to movies, we didn't say, let's get the comedy guy to star in the second dramatic lead with Brad Pitt. For 50.
That's probably why you don't do it anymore. They got someone with some vision who, can kind of see. I'm kidding.
It's true.
No, but that's a very valid question. I've done a lot of comedies, and that's something I'm really proud of and love, making people laugh and making films. Like all you guys are in school to make movies. All I give a shit about is making movies. That's to me is like what I feel I was put on this earth to do, as do all of you, and I encourage you all to aggressively follow that as much as you can, and no matter, like there are other people that were on a list probably to play this part that were had done more dramas and stuff like that, but I really wanted it. I really wanted to make all different kinds of films, and even when you get some success making movies, they try and convince you to just keep making that same kind of movie, and for me, it's just important to always push yourself to do stuff that you haven't done, even if it's uncomfortable for other people like Tova or, people running the studios. But honestly, I did this movie Cyrus, and Bennett Miller, who directed this film, who's one of my best friends, saw that film and gave me the opportunity. And Catherine Keener actually helped me a lot because she was in Cyrus with me and is best friends with Bennett. I'm a little nervous, you guys. I'm sorry. I'm not nervous, and it's you guys are intimidating.
A little water, Deb, a little water.
Yeah. No, I'll be cool. Fuck it.
It's hot here.
Yeah, and Brad Pitt and Bennett Miller were really supportive, and Amy Pascal, who runs Sony, who I'd made Superbad and Moneyball and 21 Jump Street and This Is the End. So we have a really deep relationship, and she was really supportive of me getting this part, and it changed my life in a lot of really great ways.
I know, it's amazing.
Yeah.
So
I'm here with you now as a result. Yeah.
How great is that?
It's great.
Yeah.
You are a vision in purple right now. That's all I'm saying. Isn't she beautiful?
Yeah.
Come on. What a cutie.
But the best one was when I wore this and Joel Silva came and he had
Could there be any more fucking lights in here? This is like the hottest, most light-filled room I've ever seen.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
It's so hot. Sorry, go on. Joel Silver was here.
Yeah, and he wore something even more purplish than me.
Really?
That was really a vision. Yeah.
Interesting. You guys must have been,
Two clowns.
Two clowns, yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
So you go to New York to be in new school, and you're going to study music and sports, and...
No.
That's what it said.
No.
Wikipedia.
It's just like these guys on the internet writing about real facts.
Really?
Yeah, but I'll break it down for you now that we're here. No, I was into music and films, and I wanted to be a writer director, like I'm sure a lot of you guys do here and girls here want to do. and I started acting because I was really bad at giving directions to the actors. I had very poor tact and grace, and when they didn't do what I wanted them to do, it upset me. And I didn't know, I just was like, why aren't you doing it the right way? And a friend of mine was like, you really shouldn't, give direction like that. There's a real art to that. And so I took acting classes in order to hear how I would want to be spoken to by a director. And then when I started acting, I really fell in love with that as well as the other stuff,
And what were your, you start doing like, again, Wikipedia, it's probably all wrong.
Yeah.
But you started to do like, in college, to write like what, one scene plays?
Like one act plays, yeah.
One act plays?
Yeah, and I went to New School, which is a school in New York, and very briefly, and but I would write these plays, and a lot of them they wouldn't put up because of the content, whether it be language or some of them were like
overtly sexual.
Overtly, yeah. Really sexual. No, sexy dramas. No. They were just trying to be aggressive, I think, or trying to be controversial in some way. And so I think I liked that. I think I liked pissing people off and stuff like that. And so they wouldn't put them up. And so a friend of mine, I was 18, and a friend of mine, there's this bar called Black and White, it's still there in New York in the East Village. And they had an open mic night where people would do poetry and weird stuff, and I would put up the plays at the bar. We would clear some tables out and do the plays Sunday nights at the bar. And so that was where I started performing, and then it actually kind of got a small following in New York City around that time. This was 11 years ago, because I'm fucking old. And but it was 11 years ago, and people started coming in, and it really encouraged me. And a couple times I would be like at a party or something, and someone would have come in to see, they had heard about it, like without being a friend of mine. And then I was like, okay, that's really cool. I'm going to keep doing this,
Were they comedic?
Some of them were, and some of them weren't. Some of them were interactive, like some of them would have plants like in the audience and stuff, and most of them were attempting to be funny, and some of them weren't,
No, what I'm impressed with, because you worked, let's say, Tarantino, Scorsese, and now you're still going to go, you're writing something for, to do with Jason Segel, and you still worked with Seth Rogen, and you're going to do something for...
what am I writing with Jason Segel?
Wikipedia!
No! I love Jason. He's the best. I talked to him today, but I'm not working.
No, I read it in your bio that you're writing something.
I gotta go through this thing, man. And you guys need a job? Who wants to go through my Wikipedia page and delete stupid stuff? Okay, you're all hired.
No, but the point is, what I'm impressed is that you really kept, even though you forged your own way, you kept those all those relationships, really, which is kind of unusual in Hollywood, to actually still be so connected and affable with people. And
well, I think the truth is I've just been really lucky. All the guys I started making movies with, and women like Judd Apatow and Seth and Jason and Paul Rudd and all those guys.
They're all women, you said?
No, yeah, those four happen to be women, yeah. No, but Leslie Mann and Shauna Robertson, who produced a lot of our movies, they just happen to be amazing people. And so it was not a challenge to maintain those relationships, because I think in all of this, I just gravitate towards the people that I, share the same taste with, and that breeds, and when you're in school, like especially in this environment, as I'm sure you guys are doing, but this is such a great way to be around all these people and meet the people that have the same taste as yourself, and able to form those friendships become based on wanting to do work that you all believe in, and so whether it was starting out with Judd and those guys, or moving on to Cyrus with the Duplass brothers, or Moneyball with Bennett and Brad, or Wolf of Wall Street with Martin Scorsese and Leonardo DiCaprio, it was always people that were into something creative that was the same. And then those relationships and friendships build from there, and I've just been lucky that those people all happen to be great people as well as artists,
Do you think you have something to do with it?
Do I have something to do with it? No, I just got lucky. I mean, I think it's just, you know, you find the people that you're creatively in tune with. You just do. It naturally happens. It's like finding a girlfriend or a boyfriend or a best friend. It just like, you can't force it, and it will naturally happen as you go through the creative process, you know.
Fantastic. I can talk for you forever, but I think it's really for the students. So anybody wants to ask question, please line up. There you go. There you go. Okay, nobody's going to stay in the seat.
Okay. Wait, are you guys leaving? This is like the awkward silent part when everyone's like getting up, you know?
Can I sit here in front of you?
Yeah, you can sit there in front of her. Okay, cool. So you guys are all in film school?
Yeah.
That's cool.
It's like acting, directing.
Not sound. But that is exciting.
Yeah. So you yourself, you write, you direct,
Mm-hmm.
you associate produce, you executive produce, you direct shorts, your music video and all of that stuff. I mean, is it an abundance of creativity or energy or strategy or all of it, or lack of sleep maybe?
Lack of sleep? I think it's just, like I said, this is just what I wouldn't want to do anything else in life besides make stuff. All I want to do is make stuff. And if that's your goal, then you can do that whether they're paying for your movies or not. You can go grab an iPhone and leave and go out front here and like go make a short with your friends. And that's what I would be doing if I wasn't lucky enough to get to make movies and stuff like that.
You see, that's inspiring. Don't wait for other people. Yes, let's go.
Hi,
What's your name?
Emily.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. I was kind of wondering.
That sounded not genuine. When you said nice to meet you too, I just felt like that wasn't. It felt. Don't be nervous. I'm just messing around. I'm just kidding.
A lot of my peers and colleagues who are just breaking into the industry, it's taken them about 10 years. And you sort of talked about this a little bit, but I was kind of wondering if that's sort of just the general time frame to break into the industry and jump through all those bureaucratic hoops amongst you and your peers, maybe, that you've experienced that.
I mean, again, I when I say I was really lucky, I genuinely mean I'm really lucky. I'm super lucky that it took me about. I mean, this is my 11th year of working professionally, and you know, I had a quicker. I had a lucky start. You know what I mean? And I met guys like Judd and Seth and those people who were really helpful to me really early on. And I don't think there's any time limit. I think it's good to have to work for your success. And I think that if it does take 10 years, again, like what I said, if this is the only reason, this business is so weird that like, if this isn't the only thing you want to do in life, then leave the room and don't do it. You know what I mean? But if it's the only thing you want to do in life and you can't imagine doing anything else, then don't worry about how much time it's taking. It will happen in whatever incarnation it's supposed to happen in. But you have to just make stuff constantly. And don't worry about like making it. Make stuff. That sounded smart or really dumb. Either really dumb or really smart. That's like Tony Robbins or something, you know.
It sounded a little more smart than dumb.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, thank you.
Hey, what's up, Mr. Hill?
Hi. You call me Jonah, not Mr. Hill. What's your name? Kate? Oh, Kate? I thought you said Kate. Kate, okay.
I just want to ask you, how did you overcome your biggest obstacle as an actor?
What do you mean, like?
As an actor, on the job, I want you to kind of think of maybe a particular situation that you had a big obstacle that you had to overcome.
That's a really good question. I think the most challenging part of being an actor comes from the days where something really bad is happening in your personal life. Like, let's say some, you know, death or breakup or friendship thing, whatever, some personal thing that's going on outside of work, and you have to show up that day and act like and give your performance like none of that is happening. So for me, that has been the thing that actors just have. That's part of the gig. You know what I mean? So even if something really awful is happening, you have to be able to block that out and focus on your performance, you know? So I think it's a weird part of the job, for sure. Like if you have a normal job, you can be quiet for the day or whatever, you know, or you could just focus on your computer or whatever it is. Like you have to be prepared that when you go there, you're there to act and give your performance, you know? Yeah. Yeah, thank you, Kate. Just kidding, Kate. Sorry. It's low-hanging fruit. I had to go for it. Hey, what's up?
Hey, I'm Mecca.
Mecca?
Mecca.
Okay.
And I'm an actress.
Cool.
And I love comedy. I love your comedies, by the way.
Oh, cool. Thanks.
They're brilliant. And my question is just, I love improv.
Okay.
And I feel like you improvise a lot in some of your other films. And I was just wondering if you're ever concerned with, sticking to the script or, feeling it out or how that goes.
It's honestly dependent on what the director is cool with. You know what I mean? If the director doesn't want you to improvise, then you shouldn't just be like, fuck it, I'm going to anyway. You know, like you have to respect, who's running the set and everything like that. It's interesting because Cyrus and Wolf of Wall Street, well, the comedy stuff is heavily improvised. It's so much of the fun of it is you don't know what's going to happen. You know what I mean? But what was interesting, Moneyball, we didn't improvise a lot. Like, not very much at all. But Wolf of Wall Street, which is this Martin Scorsese film I did, we did so much improvisation, because that's what he likes, and he supports that. So it's been interesting to work on comedy. On the comedy stuff for me, if I was running a comedy set, would always encourage people to improvise and come up with new jokes and new attitudes, as long as it's about the character and not just trying to be funny, But I think improvisation is great. I think I kind of got a little off track, but the point is that it's so cool that new stuff can happen that no one knew about ever, and that makes the reactions real because the person's actually hearing it for the first time. So, go for it. What was your question? I have no idea.
But
it varies from like project to project, I guess.
the producer of Taxi Driver was here when I did the 70 series.
Yeah.
And he said that the day that De Niro did...
Hey, what's up? Mecca, you guys?
He says that the day that De Niro did, are you talking to me, you talking to me? He wasn't on the set. And then when he sees the dailies, he says to Marty Scorsese, where did that come from? Because it wasn't in the script. He said, oh, well, Bobby did it. And he said, yeah, but what did you tell Bobby, to do when he did this? Are you talking to me? And he said, I told him, do something. And that's how Bobby came up with, are you talking to me?
That's actually not true because I wrote that I was a negative 12 years old, and I was a sperm, and I got in a time machine, and as a sperm wrote, are you talking to me, and went up to Mr. De Niro and said, you should try this in the scene today, and Marty and I still joke about it to this day. Sorry, I have no idea what's going on.
That producer was not in on the joke, I guess.
Okay, yeah. See, he wasn't there that day. As he said he was not there that day. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he missed a lot.
He missed a lot of cool stuff.
A lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up?
Hi, Hi, Jonah Hill. My name is Taryn Galloway.
Hi, Taryn Galloway. Nice to meet you.
First of all, love you.
Thank you.
Second,
That's very sweet.
trying to remember what I was going to say. Okay.
Nothing else is important besides that. That's the only important thing. Yeah.
Not trying to piggyback off of somebody else's question, but this also deals with your wonderful comedies. Which comedy movie, in your opinion, best presents your acting ability? Like you felt as though you nailed it, you know?
I never feel as if I nailed it. But the I don't know. I mean, honestly, I think I try not to define things as like comedy or I don't think of them as separate. I just think about like as a movie. You know, like if an alien came to Earth and was like, "Oh, are you a movie actor?" And I'd be like, "Yeah." And then he'd be like, "Well, then give me like some DVDs to show me what a movie is if you do." I would give them like I don't say like, "Oh, here's a comedy." I would just give them some movies. You know what I mean? That kind of makes sense. But my point is that the movies I'm most proud of probably are Superbad and Cyrus and Moneyball and 21 Jump Street. You know, so those four are probably the ones, and Wolf of Wall Street, which isn't out yet. But I would probably those movies I would say To a Stranger or An Alien in my previous example. Like here's what I've spent my life doing. You know? Guys, I'm so sorry. That made no sense.
But the aliens are coming.
Yes, the aliens are. That was why I came here tonight, first and foremost, is to express that aliens are definitely coming. And, yeah, so that's cool. Right.
Well, just like this is the end, you are compelling me, sir.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Lovely to meet you. Hey, dude. How's it going?
My name's Toby. Pleasure to meet you.
Cool.
I know in life, you know, in your rise to fame, you know, we have to make decisions. I know you've made many decisions as an actor, but my question is to you, are there any decisions you will go back and change, or any mistakes you've made down the road to your rise to fame?
Well, first of all, I would say that's actually really an interesting question, the way you posed it, because I think the main thing I say to people that I meet who want to do this in any way is like take the word fame out of your vocabulary forever. Because I definitely never did this to be famous. I do not even like being famous. I love making movies and I love meeting people like you guys. You know what I mean? And so if your goal is to be famous, that sucks, because it's like you should be here because all you want to do is act or write or direct or whatever. And I know that's not what you meant, but that's a secondary thing that I think about a lot, because a lot of kids come up to me and they're like, "I want to be famous," and you're like, "Oh man, you have the wrong outlook on what this actually is," because what this is like you get to make stuff with people you care about, that you're passionate about. And as far as decisions, the only decisions I've ever regretted were ones I made for impure reasons, like to do a movie because I thought it'd be a big movie, or you know, like it'd be popular or something, instead of just really feeling like it was the right thing to do creatively. Mm-hmm. So I just think every decision you guys make should just be completely from your heart. And if you should only make stuff you would want to show the whole world forever, you know, and constantly just go from your heart and don't have anything else cloud your judgment, you know. Purity. I know it sounds like really like straightforward and like cliche, but purity in your decisions, they should come from what you feel all the time, you know.
Are there roles that you absolutely would not take? I mean, there's a specific...
I mean, I guess not. I played like a Klan member, a cokehead Wall Street guy. You know, I've really done like every kind of despicable thing. This is just last year. But no, I think it's important to show all walks of society and bad people and good people. And that's like, you know, there isn't a role I wouldn't take if I felt it was in a story I wanted to be a part of, you know? I wouldn't do something that offended people to offend people.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't do something to, like, deliberately hurt someone's feelings or something in a character. I think it would just be No. The answer is no. Thank you for your question. Nice to meet you, pal.
Hey, Jonah.
Hey, what's up?
Thanks for coming.
Yeah, of course. I met you in the bathroom earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah. That sounds weird, but I met him when I was walking out of the bathroom and you were walking into the bathroom. Really glad I shared that with you guys.
I guess my question would be, throughout your 11 years in the industry, what has been the words that you really took to heart that someone told you, or if Brad Pitt ever told you certain, I guess something that changed your life or changed the way you saw it or changed your acting, or any, kind of.
Wear comfortable shoes. That's what every director. No, I'm kidding. But if you ask any of the coolest directors I've worked with, when you ask them about directing, they all say wear comfortable shoes. It's like a famous term, I guess, because you're standing all day. Let me think of a real answer to that question. I don't know. John C. Reilly and Brad Pitt and Leonardo DiCaprio, and Judd and Seth and those guys, they've all imparted a lot of wisdom on me, and there's not a specific sentence or something I could really say, but the essence of what all of them do is kind of what I was talking about before, is shooting from the hip, making decisions from your heart, doing things that you care about for the right reasons. And I can't stress that enough, because all you guys are great and smart and are going to be so talented and successful. It's just don't let anything penetrate what you feel, Your heart knows what's up. And so don't go against that, because it's just, always think about when you were a little kid and you wanted to do this, and what made you want to do that, and keep that with you for the rest of your career in life, I wish I had one cool sentence to say, but none of those guys ever taught me shit, so it was really hard. They were just focused on themselves the whole time. It was really hard to. No. Thank you. Yeah.
Hey, Jonah, huge fan.
Thank you.
I was just wondering, Get Him to the Greek was the last movie you did produced by Judd Apatow. Do you have any plans of reconnecting with him in the future?
I love Judd, and I talk to him all the time, and yeah, I would love to work with Judd, and I think it all has to happen organically, you know what I mean? He's still someone I call for advice so much, and he's such a wonderful guy and taught me, so much of what I utilize today. But we don't have any specific plan to, but I'm sure I would definitely be open to it, Cool, yeah, thanks.
Aren't you writing adventure, something like that?
No. You gotta get off Wikipedia. It's yeah.
You have to go with your bio.
I do, yeah. Hey.
Hey, what's going on?
What's up, man?
The question that I have, I'm a writer-director myself, and
cool.
I just wanted to know, I guess, you've worked with some of the greatest directors, of our time. What are some of the attributes that you think make a good director and a great director?
They're all different. All the directors that have been wonderful that I've worked with have all been wildly different and not comparable to one another. That's what's so interesting. So the things I admire the most as an actor from a great director, it's personally, Scorsese is separated from everybody else just because he's the master, and no one will ever come close to him in my personal opinion of anyone I've ever worked with. But Judd and the Duplass brothers and Bennett Miller, who directed this film, I think will end up being Scorsese in some way, regarded as a great filmmaker in his pantheon or whatever. But they're all so different, But the one thing they share in common is they all care so much about what they're making, to the point where they will fuck up the rest of their life to make sure this movie is great. You know what I mean? Not any of them specifically, but you get the sense that this is what is the most important thing to them, is making this movie great. And so I think you just have to care so much, Wish I had more advice, guys. Sorry.
You know what I loved about this movie is
Yeah.
also most movies today are like score from every second, and this had so little music in it. It was really the characters playing.
Yeah, this Bennett Miller made a movie called Foxcatcher that comes out this year with Channing Tatum and Steve Carell and Mark Ruffalo that I guarantee you is going to be like mind-blowingly good.
Really.
Yeah.
Cool.
Hey. Dad? No, sorry.
First of all, thank you for coming out to us fanboys and fangirls over here.
Yeah, cool.
You look great. You lost a lot of weight.
Oh, thanks. We should go on a date later if you want. But the guy from the bathroom's going to be jealous because... yeah, there he is. There's my guy. All right.
As an actor, I just want to know how you prep yourself for the roles you do. Like, do you go to like a personal space or just
I make music is like a big part of the acting process for me. Process is a really douchey word, I guess, but I make playlists for every scene, and I listen to it throughout the day. So like I usually bring headphones to set, and I don't bring my phone usually to set. I'll bring like headphones and music and try and make a playlist that tonally kind of feels like what we're trying to do that day. And just a lot of I rehearse a lot and rehearse with friends and invite my friends to help me try lots of different stuff out and embarrass myself in front of them before I go in front of the director and stuff like that. Yeah. Utilize your friends because they'll be honest with you if something sucks. You know. Yeah, thank you. Where do you want to go on our date? Like, is it like a friend? Is it like casual, or is it like, do I have to put on some nicer? Okay, well, fuck it, we'll talk about it later. Okay.
Hi. My name is Daniela.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. I was wondering, how do you decide in which direction to go when you start your character breakdown?
Like how to make the decisions about how to play the character? Well, I think you have to, for me, it's usually just thinking, do I know a person like this in real life? You know, I usually think like for Peter Brand, the character in Moneyball, he's based a lot on my dad, like my actual dad. Not that guy when I said but my dad is an accountant. He's a wonderful, wonderful, amazing guy. We're incredibly close, but we couldn't be more different as people. But he sees the world a lot more numerically and logically than I do. And so I thought a lot about him. And then luckily this film and the Scorsese film and a couple other films I've done have been based on real people too. So you have their actual life, and you just try and figure out, simply what kind of person they are from a psychological standpoint, like what makes them happy, what motivates them to make the decisions they're making, and just try and really, if you read any books on psychology, those have helped me a lot to understand just why people make the decisions they're making and kind of go from there. Yeah, nice to meet you.
Hello, Jonah.
Hey, what's up?
My name is Saud. I'm such a huge fan, man.
Thank you.
My question is, you started in comedy, like you had a big hit in Superbad, like you started with comedy, and then you slowly starting shifting now to more serious roles. Would you like? I mean, I see you have like a lot of sense of humor and comedic, but would you want to go to more serious roles or stay with comedy? Want to do both, and like why?
Well, what I've been doing the past couple years, and what I hope to continue to do, is to do all different kinds of things, and it's no declarative thing like I'm done with comedy and I only want to do dramas. Like, it'll never be that way, because there's parts of me that love, such a big part of me that loves to make people laugh, loves to entertain people in that way. But there's also a part of me that loves to tell all different kinds of stories and play all different kinds of people. And so the idea is just to do whatever you feel passionate about. Again, I have said this about 50,000 times, but if I feel connected to something emotionally, then that's what I want to do, and until they kick me out, that's what I'm going to keep doing, Cool, yeah.
Hi, my name's Dion.
Hey, Neon? Dion. Sick fucking names at this school. Really great. Yeah.
I would like to ask you about an actor and director relationship. Do you like a director that has confidence in his actors and the actors blossom and they take responsibility of their own performance, or do you like asking questions and having a director give you analysis of what you want to do to guide you?
I think it should truly be a collaboration, and if you're lucky, you'll both be feeling the same exact way, and it takes a lot of conversation before you start the film. Got a little more romantic in here. You should have tons of conversation before you start the film to make sure you guys are, not guys, but men or women or woman or man, whatever, are all on the same page. So when you go into it, you know, we're making the same thing. We have the same vision of what this should be. And again, it should be collaborative at all steps. And they should tell you when something's not going well. You should tell them when something's not going well. And there should be this, you know, when it's great, it's the best. It's finding it together, you know? Yeah, no worries. Hi.
Like inside the actor studio now.
Yeah.
Quick question. So after working with like all the tremendous talents and stuff that you've had the fortune to work with over the last several years, and the awesome success that you've had, and have you
Keep going.
Have you picked up? Have you kind of reacquired that taste for directing, and will you ever? Do you think you're gonna get that bug ever again, or?
Yeah, I'm writing the movie now that I'm planning on directing next year. So I'm really excited about that. Yeah. You guys all have to work on it, you know? For free. Thanks, buddy. Nice to meet you. Hey, how's it going?
What is something that sticks out to you every day in life that you just live by?
Something like a moral code, or like personally?
Yeah, I mean, anything.
I'm really mean to old people and babies, and that's sort of like the thing that's defined my life the most, I think. No, I'm just kidding. Seriously, I do hate old people, though. No, I'm just kidding, and babies. Just kidding. I don't know what's going on. I'm getting loopy and more nervous. And, no, honestly, just like, I guess just treat people the way you want to be treated. I don't know. This is very like non-film oriented, but yeah, treat people nicely. And I'm really close to my family and friends, and so as much time and effort I can put into those relationships as possible is what I do. Cool. Yeah, thank you.
Hey, Jonah.
Hey.
I'm Brennan.
Hey, Brennan.
Hey, your scene in Django Unchained was one of the highlights of the film.
Thanks.
I was wondering, how did you end up working on that film, and what was it like collaborating with Quentin Tarantino?
Quentin Tarantino is so cool, and obviously super, super genius. And I think it was right when this film was coming out, and a lot of good stuff was happening to me as a result. And he had called and asked to meet with me. And I was like, no thanks. No, I literally like almost jumped through the phone and into his office. And there was another part that they were interested in me for, and then I wasn't able to do it because I was doing another movie and the schedules conflicted. And the movie was like way shittier than a Tarantino movie. I was just like, oh my gosh, I'm doing this movie and not able to do a Tarantino movie. Not against the movie I was making, just like, oh my gosh, I'm not going to be able to work with one of my heroes because I'm not available. And so I was really sad because I missed this opportunity to work with Quentin, who's one of my heroes. And so were already almost done shooting the movie. And we were at Summer of Sony, which is this thing like where all the Sony movies, they go to Mexico and promote the films internationally. And Channing and I were there for 21 Jump Street. And we got to the hotel and all the Django Unchained people were there. And Amy Pascal, who's probably the most innovative, amazing person working in greenlighting movies today. She's a genius. And she emailed me and said, come up to this hotel room. Me and Quentin want to talk to you. And I went up there, and then I went up there, and they were like, we still haven't, the other part is gone now, obviously, but we have another scene that still has not been shot yet, and I want you to come do it. And I was like, this is the coolest thing ever in the world. And I wrote him a letter. I wrote him a really long handwritten letter about why it was like heartbreaking that I didn't get to work with him. And he said it was because of the letter that he kept me in mind. And I told him, like, yeah, write people letters, honestly. Seriously though, it's so nice. It's like the nicest thing. Whenever someone's written me a letter, I've always remembered them so positively in my mind, you know? There you go. I guess write letters and keep me normal people, and I don't know, go from your heart. Whatever. Thank you, buddy.
Hi, Jonah. My name is Jasmine. I'm having a mini heart attack right now.
Don't have a heart attack.
Oh my god, hi.
Hi.
Hold on. Whew. I had all these questions planned and then I just threw them out the door.
Okay.
So I'm going to ask you something because you mentioned it earlier. I'm so nervous.
Don't be nervous. I'm nervous. You guys are
This is amazing. I'm an insane fan of your work. And I have to ask something you said. You said that The Simpsons and Goodfellas specifically stuck out for you. And when you said that, that made me like ding, because that was the same for me, especially Goodfellas. I'm a crazy fan of Scorsese. So I want to know what it is specifically about Scorsese films that ignited your love for acting and for film, because I'm on the same boat as you.
Well, I think that's a really good question. And the thing about Mr. Scorsese, who, you know, honestly, the fact that I got to make this movie with him is the crowning achievement of my entire life. I'm so lucky I even got to, like, ever be in the same room as him. And I think the reason why his movies are so important to me, especially Goodfellas, but every one of his movies, is that they're completely dangerous in that you do not know what's going to happen in a scene. You don't know, and from second to second, it shifts from being funny to very scary to very, you just are very uncomfortable in a lot of ways. And I think that's amazing, you know? And like obviously the greatest scene in any movie ever, in my opinion, is in Goodfellas, which is very obvious, the famous scene where Joe Pesci's like, you think I'm a clown? Do I amuse you? And because it's so hilariously funny, and then in a millisecond later, it's the most tense, scary thing, and then goes back to being funny, and then back to being very tense. And if you can create that kind of spontaneity in any way and capture it on film, that's what we all should be striving for. To have people watching it going, I don't know what's going to happen in the next second. And that is so exciting, you know? So that's same with, you know, King of Comedy and Casino and Raging Bull and, you know, Taxi Driver, all of his films. They just have that thing where you are very uncertain of what's going to happen moment to moment.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure.
Yeah, thank you.
That was a good one. Good analysis.
Hi, my name is Alejandra.
Hi.
First of all, I want to say, like, I love your passion. You're awesome, and I'm so happy to be here.
Thank you. I love your passion.
Okay, my question is, when you're watching yourself on the screen, are you very critical about yourself? Like, you're really excited to see it, or I don't know, what do you feel?
I always cheer as loud as I can the whole time I'm on screen in a movie theater with a bullhorn that I bring with me everywhere. No, I don't know. I don't really like... It takes me a few years to watch a movie that I'm actually in and watch it as a movie. But then there's movies like 21 Jump Street that I am a writer, producer on, and I have to watch the various cuts to give notes as a filmmaker, as a producer, to make sure that the movie ends up good, you know? Whereas like Moneyball, it's like Bennett's a genius and I do whatever he wants, and then I see the movie when it's done, right? But like a movie like 21 Jump Street, throughout the process, I have to watch all the dailies and, you know, watch with the directors as they cut the movie and really give input. So I have to take my own performance completely out of it and not focus on my performance at all and focus on the film itself. So it's different when you're involved on the filmmaking side. Cool. Nice to meet you. Hey, what's up?
And you?
Good.
You alright? I'm Marie.
I'm great. What's your name?
Marie.
Marie, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Are you French?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Just figuring it out.
Switzerland.
Swiss and French?
We speak French in Switzerland, so I'm kind of French, but whatever.
Okay.
So
You're a Swiss person who speaks French?
Yes.
Okay. That's weird. But go on. I'm just kidding. That's not weird. It's not weird. I was trying to make a joke and it backfired in my face. You're not weird. I'm obviously weird. Let's continue. Okay.
Yeah, there are so many different schools and methods, and like you have Stella Adler, Stanislavski. Some people say you have to improv all the time. What's your acting training, and what's your thing? If you believe that there is one thing, because I don't believe there is only one method. I don't think that you can deal with every different part only with Meisner or stuff like that. I personally don't, so I want to know what you think.
I studied Meisner. That's what I studied in school. Again, yeah, I mean, the training, I don't, okay. It does vary from film to film, for me personally, because there's certain movies where, okay, if it's completely improvised, you know, or majority improvisation, you can't use a lot of that stuff every second. You just can't, because you have to be thinking almost as a writer, you know, with a lot of improvisation, and especially comedically. But then there's things like this, you know, like Moneyball, where a lot of that stuff did come in handy for me, you know. So again, I think it's like anything in school, anything you learn in life, you cherry pick little things that you take with you. And I don't think anything is like, you can only do this, because that's limiting yourself. You know, I think you cherry pick the little things that work for that situation. Yeah, thank you. Hey. Yeah, me too. Don't be nervous. What's your name?
Ariana.
Nice to meet you.
You too. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah. So first of all, I just want to say I did not expect you to be like totally normal.
Me neither. I had heard about you and I was like, no way Ariana's normal. She's got to be like full of herself or whatever. And you're just so down to earth, which is so cool. You know? Yeah. What did you expect me to be like?
It's just like how you are on the screen, but like you're actually like different. I don't know.
Okay. Well, cool.
You know how it was in not Moneyball. This Is the End. Like how that was filming.
What was it like to make This Is the End?
Yeah, like with the people and like everything like that.
Well, it was great because Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg, who were the writer-directors, are really old friends of mine. They wrote Superbad, and you know, I was just so proud of my friends that they were directing their first film. And like all of you guys, you know, it's like to see your friends progress and do new things and to take that responsibility on. I knew they would be great at it, and I was just excited that they were pushing themselves in that direction. And it was great, you know, like James Franco and Craig and everyone, you know, Michael Cera. These guys, I've known all these people for a long time, and like it was really interesting to get to play a version of yourself, like to create that version of that's not me. It wasn't like I actually am, but it was fun to make fun of that and play on that. So for me, it's actually one of the performances I'm more proud of, because it's this super weird version of me. You know what I mean? But it's not me, if that makes any sense. And Seth and Evan had originally written the character where everyone was really mean to each other, you know? And my only note was, I think my character should be super duper nice and then turn out to be evil like later on, you know? So it was a really fun experience. And those guys are, speaking of, those are the best comedic screenwriters working today, Seth and Evan, hands down. They are so brilliant, and they've worked on so many movies that you don't even know about, that their names are not on, and those guys are working at a very high level right now. And I have a lot of love and respect for them. Yeah, cool. Last one, Lone Ranger. Let's finish strong. Okay.
Well, my name is James from MFA acting course.
Okay, cool.
First of all, thanks for just staying up at this late hour with us.
No worries. What time is it? Holy shit, it's 4 a.m. We've been here 9 hours.
My question is that it might be nerve-wracking to speak in front of 200 people, and it might be nerve-wracking as well, working opposite two great actors, like, well, a brief scene, but Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Yeah, Phil Seymour Hoffman.
Even working with the legendary director like Martin Scorsese. So, well, how do you cope with that? Like, well, is it intimidating? Then, well, how do you just let yourself free?
That's a really that's a really good question. Yeah, because leading up to this film, well, I guess the first time would have been John C. Reilly and Marissa Tomei and Cyrus, where I was really intimidated to work with actors that were so profound and in Catherine Keener, and but each time you do it, the first few rehearsals or the first few scenes, you're incredibly nervous, and then there's a point where it kicks in where you're like, I have this job, and if I want to keep this job, I better put all that stuff away and focus on just doing what I came here to do and giving the performance I came here to give. So same with Moneyball. When I first started rehearsing with Bennett and Brad Pitt and Philip Seymour Hoffman, and it was the four of us in a room, I was incredibly intimidated, and eventually you have to be like, they're going to hire somebody else and fire me if I just act all nervous and don't start acting well, So there just has to be that thing. Like I said, if something bad happens in your life, you have to kick that stuff to the curb while you're there doing your job. And I think Martin Scorsese was a different thing altogether because, yeah, we did a month of rehearsals, and it would be me and him and Leonardo DiCaprio in a room rehearsing, and I'd be like, what the fuck am I doing here? And I think I constantly in my life, whether it's Moneyball or even, the first movie set I was ever on or whatever it is, it's a constant thing of what am I doing here? And I think that's the best attitude to have, is to always feel like you're the person who doesn't belong, because it will drive you to do the best you can. Not like I belong here, but I want to make sure that I do the work that allows me to be with these great people. Cool. Thanks.